Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first. I have a dreadful rack, but I may be able to play through it if my opponent plays an I or an O. I could play Ditty or Dotty, which would leave a decent rack leave of DST. So this isn't an automatic change. Well, my opponent does provide an O in the least helpful spot, but it's still better than changing. And doesn't give too much away. Dotty for 9. Well, one vowel now. I've got Velt on my rack and it's plural. Nowhere obvious to play either of those. And no opportunity provided by my opponent. Well, I could pluralize Dago. Well, and I could put an S on the end of grow. Now, what's going to be best here? I don't want to retain 2 T's. Do I have anything through the Y of Dotty? I could just play Vet in column 5, making Ed and Tar. 17 points. And 23 for vowels in column 10. Have I missed something? Well, I don't want to keep 4 consonants. So 23 for Velts. A few more vowels now, but they're all the same. So a tricky run of opening racks. Fortunately, my opponent has not yet bingoed. I can play Minty in row K, but I would like to play off 2 I's if possible. So I could play Mini in row L and G. So I'm looking to play off 2 I's and 1 N. The M is my scoring tile, so certainly Mini achieves that. Can I do better? Well, the rack leave's quite good, so I think I'll go with this. I'm just wondering about I'm in the same spot. Well, not much to choose between those. Only 15 points. And I'm just looking at the floaters in Velt, in particular the E and the L, to see if I can score more. In time is good, but that doesn't hit a double word square. I think this is fine. Great, the rack has finally improved. I've got Tinnies on my rack, which plays in row M, making Git. Do I have an alternative bingo? I'm wondering if Intines is an anagram of Tinnies, but even if it is, even if it is, it doesn't play anywhere. This looks quite a useful rack, so... Now, my opponent has blocked my spot, but provided a new one. In fact, there are two spots now. I can play underneath the E or the U of bow. But either of those will open up row O, and it's triple word squares. So, do I have an alternative bingo? I've got 16 minutes left. And I think Velt is the word with the floaters that I'm looking at. I can't see anything with the E. I don't think Invenit takes an S. Now, what about 90s and Einstein? Well, yeah, they work. I do have something through the E. Great. I think I'll play 90s. That gives the least away. I'm glad I didn't rush into playing tinnies. '90s 68. Pretty good. Through an A, I would have Atamoyas. No A's available at the moment. This looks quite a promising rack. I suspect there are more 8-letter bingos that I haven't spotted yet. I'm looking at the N of 90s. Can't see anything through that. And then there's the M and I of Mini. And the T of Dotty. Okay, well I can't see any 8s with the available floaters. I've got scoring tiles in the M and the Y, so I should be able to score and leave a decent rack leave. I'm looking in column 8 at the top to see if I've got a play through the T of 90s. Great, my opponent has provided an A for Atamoyas. Unfortunately, not a 9 timer. But that doesn't matter, it's still good to bingo as soon as your opponent has bingoed. Atamoyas 92. And quite a good pickup. There may not be a bingo here, but with 7 random tiles it could have been a lot worse. And I've got scoring tiles in the C and the K, which do have some synergy. Through a C I may have Crackler, but the other C has already been played and is not available for that word. I'm just wondering if Kolkia is good, which plays through the eye of Mini. That would play off 6 tiles and score 34 points. Now, is Jaiba good? I think Jaibel is. Well, I don't have a good candidate move to utilise either of those hooks. So do I have a better play than Kolkia? Oh well, maybe this won't score quite as much as I thought. The C doesn't get doubled. So 28 points, and I'm blocking the jibe hook, and I'm turning over a lot of tiles. And I draw the second blank. Only one vowel, but I've got the J, which is a good scoring tile, and I note in row B I can play Joe, Gin and 1 for over 50 points. In fact, Jog would be a better play in that spot. And my opponent may leave that alone because it does open up row A. Quite a tight board. The real bingo lanes are at the bottom in rows N and O. I'm looking around for alternative spots for my J. My opponent has gone with a good play, 32 points. He's now just 40 points behind. That was a big play. If my opponent had not blocked that, I think I would have been in a very good position to win the game. So I want to play the J as soon as possible because I've got the blank, so I'm looking to bingo. But there aren't many places for it. I could play Jingo in column 4, which splits up the DG combination and probably leaves the best Rackley that I'm going to get. But for a miserly score, only 13 points. Which is pretty awful compared to what I was looking forward to getting with Gin and 1. So, can I crank that up a bit? Well, I could score 20 at N1, but that's hopeless, putting a J right above a triple word square when there's so many A's and O's out there. So I think I'll sort the rack out. Jingo 13. Well, quite good. This board is tight. I've got Tendril, which plays in row N, making ut. I haven't got anything with the blank as an S. My opponent has blocked that, but he has provided a floating O. Does that help me? Rondelette. Great. Well, that stops one square short of the triple word square, so not so great. Have I got something else? I can't see anything beginning with the F. If there were something, the blank would be a vowel. And I can't see anything. So is there an alternative bingo through the O other than Rondelette? It would be a significantly inferior move, a play of Rondelette, if there were a bingo which doesn't take an S. So I think I'll imagine the blank. Well, I'll imagine an O on my rack as I run through the alphabet. I've got 10 minutes left. I've got time for this. Haven't seen anything yet. That's redolent. Still nothing. Still looking for another bingo and not seen one. Okay, well, I can't see one, so it's going to be Rondelette. Let's see which of us gets the S first. "23 tiles in the bag. And I'm drawing about a third of them. Well, I don't get the S. I could block that spot next go if my opponent doesn't take it. I could play Pax above Rondelay. But if my opponent's got the Z and the S, he could be coming in for a massive score. Now through a B, I would have Paxi Uber. Nowhere great for my X. Well, there is the end of bow, so I could play axe and bows. I've got Wuxia on my rack, which doesn't play above Rondelay. I suspect blocking the S-hook is the right thing to do, even though it leaves a U and W on my rack. My opponent's got 14 minutes left. I'm looking around for further spots. Great. Well, my opponent was clearly also worried about that S and doesn't have it. It's still available for use, but it's less dangerous. Not so many words end US as end S. So, what to do? Now, I could play axe and bows. My opponent hasn't provided anywhere for Wuxia. I could play Tux in row J for 26. Let me see what axe scores. It sorts out the duplicate A. So 39 points is pretty good, certainly a lot better than 26 points. I'm just noting for future reference that I think Acridin takes an E, so column 8 at the top is quite hot. So 39 points, that's a good score, especially as my opponent only got 17 for PU. Not a great rack lead, vowel heavy, and the UW combination, but I do have scoring tiles in the P and the W. Well, that could have been worse. I draw only consonants, so the vowel consonant imbalance has been addressed. Great, another small score for my opponent. He's opened up a bingo lane in column 12, which may have been part of his thinking. 9 tiles in the bag, 8 minutes on my clock. So what to do here? I think I might struggle to block this bingo lane without opening up a new one. Well, I could play Blore. Which has some merit. 22 points, which is okay, given that I'm over 100 points ahead. It is obstructing bingo lanes. And it's playing off 4 tiles with 9 in the bag, so it's helping to expedite the end of the game. Well, my rack is now deteriorating, but the aim now is to hang on and win. 5 tiles in the bag. There goes the E hook. Now, I'm wondering if I ought to take out this S possibility here. I haven't got anything which goes in front of PE. There are 2 tiles left. If I played just the F here, then a play would have to end EUS. Not many of those. Well, looking at the remaining tiles, is it possible for my opponent to put the Z on this double letter square? Possibly, because this U does allow for an OUS ending. Tricky situation. 2 tiles left. So it'd be quite nice to play just 1 tile. I certainly don't want to draw the Z, empty the bag, draw the Z, and have my opponent bingo out and win on count back. So is fit the play. It's burning a scoring tile for almost nothing. It's retaining 2 U's and a V, but it is obstructing scoring possibilities in column 15. Well, exactly a 100-point lead now. Is my opponent going to play the Z? The Z is the only tile worth more than 1 point. So my opponent can play us and rondelets for 33 points. That doesn't trouble me. What can he do with the Z? I've got 5 minutes left. Well, not very much, unless I'm missing something. I don't think there are any great Z spots on this board, so I probably ought to think about going out in 2, which may be difficult. Through an L, I would have vulpine. I could play wive. I think it's going to be very difficult to go out in 2, so I think I might simply try and score well. So wive for 30 would take me to 404, over 100 in front. I can see what my opponent's got on his rack. He would have sorrow rise through an O. I don't think there is a 7-letter bingo here. In any event, nowhere to play that. Now, am I providing a bingo with my V or E? I don't think so. And is this the best play I've got? Certainly I'm taking a spot which is of no use to my opponent. So where is he likely to play? He can play Zorais in column 13 and Labs. Well, I don't think there's anywhere great for my opponent. I'm going to be scoring very little from now on, but I think 30 points is a good score. So 112 points in front. I'll lose 6 on countback. 12 on countback. So my opponent needs to score 100 points to draw. This will be painful if there is a bingo in columns 14 and 15. Less so if it's for less than 100 points. So where can I play next go? I've got Tup in row J. My opponent will probably be going out in 2. I've also got Pun in column 10, Pun and Anne, 13 points. I've got Pun and Nope in row L, 15 points. I could play Up and Pope in row L. Great, there goes the Z. The Pun spot remains available. Just pausing to be sure that I can go out with my U. I can play UR here. And I can play Ood up here, so I'm not sticking myself with the U. I don't think I've got an outplay here, but in any event, the game is won. My opponent may just play us and rondelets, in which case I Well, no, he doesn't. He goes out. That's fine. So pass to end the game. And the final score, 335 to my opponent, 417 to me. A winning margin of 82 points. So an exciting game, quite a close game. Let's see what I missed. Wow, look at that. Kulkia was a phony. It wasn't challenged. It stayed on the board, so I got away with that one. Not quite sure what I was confusing it with. Possibly Kulkia with a U, or possibly nothing at all. Maybe Bulkia with a B. So this was my opponent's rack. He played Grow. This was my rack. I played Dotty. That looks best. My opponent's rack. That looks close to a bingo. Nothing there. He played Dago. And, wow, there was a play of Velt without the S. Where's that? Ah, Growl. I didn't consider the L hook for Grow, so that would have been significantly better than my play. My opponent's rack. And now I struggled, and I played Mini. It looks like I-Min wasn't good, so Mini looks fine. My opponent's rack. And then this is where I had Tinnies, playable underneath the U, but opening up hotspots for my opponent, which 90s and Einstein didn't do, so I prefer my play. And Intines was the anagram of Tinnies. My opponent's rack, he played Acridin. There were other possibilities. And that was fortunate for me because it gave me Atamoyas. My opponent's rack, he plays EH, and now this is where I phonied. What could I have done? Well, Jaiba was good, so I could have played Akka for 44. Certainly better than playing a phony. My opponent's rack, he played Chin, blocking an immense J score. And I struggled, and as you can see, there was reason for the struggle. I played Jingo for 13. I could have got a few more points, but blank DRT is a lot better than blank DGRT. So I think Jingo is fine. My opponent's rack, he plays UFO, and I had Rondelet. Was there something else? Well, there was, but nothing better, because Roundlet also takes an S and plays in the same spot. My opponent didn't have the S, and blocked the S hook. From his point of view, it probably would have been better to keep it open, since he was behind. Now, this was my rack, and I played Axe for 39, which is fine. My opponent's rack, he was struggling with vowels, and that's, well, he played off 2 vowels and opened a bingo lane, so that was good strategic thinking. This was my rack, and I played Blaw, but not where I played it. The top move here is across here, making Ape and Wit. Yeah, that's pretty good because it obstructs the US spot, which wasn't particularly dangerous. But does it obstruct this bingo lane? Yeah, it does. A bingo would have to start next to LA rather than DE, so probably Blaw down the bottom was a better play. My opponent's rack. Let's see what he had. Nothing great. But look at that, he could have got over 50 by using this hook. Now, this is where my rack really started to deteriorate, but I was 90 points in front. There were 2 tiles in the bag. Well, I don't think Y for Wive is a good play at this stage. It takes out the 9 timer, but it provides floaters, and the remaining tiles do look fairly bingo-y. So, for example, Snoozia could have been played. Not for a massive score, but I think it's better to have taken out. Or I think my play of Fit was a better play, rather. So this was my opponent's rack. He had nothing great. And now I did play Y for 30. That looks fine. My opponent does not have a bingo. He can't score more than 30 odd points. Play Zoe. I played pun for 13. I could have got one more point, taking count back into account by playing up in column 2. Then my opponent went out with rivers. He had a few other opportunities for going out. And that was the end of the game. So, pretty exciting game. There was a phony and Kulkia, but it didn't stop me from winning, which is good. And quite a few interesting racks there. And I think the Tinnies one was quite good. It would have, for a while, Tinnies was the only bingo I saw, and it would have been quite tempting to get it down and get on with the game. But by pausing, I was able to spot 90s and Einstein, which was certainly better plays. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.